Welcome back. I've got another brilliant stop dodging episode here for you, and this is the one I have been waiting for. We've got Migration. Migration is back in the ranked pool, and I want to show everyone what you get to see in this map and all the fun that it has. It's had some changes since what you have previously seen with it, so I'm going to go through it all now. And if you do enjoy the content I provide, do give the video a like and do, of course, follow, subscribe. And there will be more videos. Videos coming pretty much every day. Doing my best to try and upload something every day. So, lots of fun to be had here. And let's get into Migration. So, what do you see on your screen? You have a nice little island here, which has been adjusted so that it's a little bit more standard. You used to have some really wacky shapes and you'd have really large starting islands, but that's not the case anymore. You just have a nice little, largely circular island. Obviously standard 3 vills and a scout, no other starting objects or units or anything, just your standard starts. But you can see we have got cows. You can get sheep. Looks like there are 5 cows here. And if I just look at my opponent, there have been some bugs around on this map. It looks like my opponents here have got 7 cows. So there has been some bugs with migration and starting resources, but you should get 7 cows or 8 sheep. You also get 10 chickens here though. And this is different to the deer. So the chickens, of course, 75 food, and they are plucking away. It is very, very loud in my head, in my ears. 10 chickens, 75 food each. Of course, they gather at the speed of hunt, so a little bit faster to gather from those. You've got wood lines, you've got lots of gold, lots of stone around, and some berries. Now, the way you want to play this is you start at home, you build up your base a little bit at home, you work towards the middle where there's res of all descriptions in the middle. This generation is entirely flat middle island. There are ones that have got hills on them as well. Of course, the relics there. There are predators out on the map in the middle as well. There's wolves, there's snakes, whatever you want to call them. There's things around in the middle. There's also some herdables, and we'll get onto that later. On the water, of course, you're going to be fishing a lot. You're going to be creating a lot of navy on this map. So, fish... You're going to be creating fishing ships, but also note, and the game, or my fish border mod hasn't updated for this, there are whales out on the map which provide gold. 1,000 gold per tile, and they are a little bit further out. There should be 4 or 6 or something. You can see there's one here, so they're a little bit further out from the main base. Actually, there's a fair few more. There's a lot around here. You can see them on the mini-map. Looks like there's 1, 2, 3... 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Looks like there's 9 different lots of whales around the map. So you could really get around to those as well to get some gold income from your fishing ships. So, early game. You're going to start pretty standard, houses, and then go to food, 5 or 6 to food, depending on your civ. Go to a dock, and then start getting your fishing ships out. I believe that the best opening on this map is a fast castle. About 25, 26 villages fast castle, because the travel time, by the time you get your, if you were to go 19 vil uptime or 19 plus loom into, say, double dock galleys like you would on a normal map, you come forward, and by the time you get here, your opponent will hit feudal age if you go... Oh, sorry, you will hit feudal age if you go up at 25 or 26 vils. And you'll be able to get some fires out in defense already, and you'll also be on the way to castle age. So I believe fast castle is the best. I do think that you could go fast feudal, forward dock and pressure. That's got some potential. I think you could go fast feudal and land. I think that's got some potential. But do note both of them are off meta, I believe. And therefore, trying it could just get thwarted. I think I've played a few games on this map where I suspect that maybe my civ is better on water. So the way I'll set my base up is I'll actually get some walls in. I'll look to wall up my base at home preemptively, thinking, well, it's like I've got Armenians, my opponent's got Inca, they might land, so I start getting my base down and I'm just going to wall like this, so that when they do rock up, or if they do rock up and they land here and I have completely walled off my home base, then they actually just, I get a bit more time, right? And that's the kind of thing you want to do if you think a landing could happen. But again, there'll be a lot of times where a landing will catch you off guard. There'll be times where you play against civs that you don't expect a landing from, and it happens. So I think it's got some merit. I just don't think it's the meta play to land on here. Also note as well, with the fast feudal navy play, fishing ships can garrison, and I think feudal navy is a bit less profitable in general, and this is a map where it was already difficult, and I think it's made even more difficult. So fast castle for me is the way. I believe you just leave your 5 or 6 on food, and these just take these all very slowly, and you pump out 10 to 12 fishing ships. I've got games on this channel that you'll see, and you'll get a good little insight as to what my build orders look like. As far as opening on water, I think the Hulk opening is the safest. Because it's an easy one to get out. You're already a lot on wood. You don't need as much gold on them, and you can just open and you can send them out essentially to scout. If you come up against one galley and you've got a Hulk, it's fine. Hulks are the quickest in feudal age, or they're the quickest before the medium warship upgrade. So just having the fastest ship is okay. And then once you hit castle age though, and you get the warship upgrade, it all comes down to the triangle. I do believe that the triangle is actually kind of fairly balanced. Which might be a little bit difficult for people to hear, but I believe they've actually done a good job with the triangle, and that you do want to then play into 2 units. I think galley with you can play galleys and hulks, you can play galleys and fires, you can play fires and hulks. I think there's routes to play them all. Of course, if you've got a unique ship, you can go down that path as well. With that mid game, and talking more about the mid game, uni upgrades matter. The uni now, if I jump into the tech tree here for the Armenians, the uni matters. You have got careening, dry dock, clinker construction, carvel hull, siphons, and incendiaries. So careening, ship armor, +1 ship armor. Clinker construction, ships move faster. Siphons, explosive charge attack. In castle age, the same way we look to get ballistics, fletching, and bodkin for our galleys, and we used to. Now we need to just consider that there are more options. Careening was previously in the dock, it's now in the uni. Clinker construction is new, siphons is new. Consider these, they change your fights. If you're playing galleys and you're getting overrun by fires, but you get clinker construction quickly, suddenly you're able to speed away from those fire ships, or not get microed down, or not get you're able to micro away a little bit easier. If you're playing fires, again, siphons, it helps. You're against maybe hulks and it's not the right thing to be on, but siphons can help. Of course, if you're playing hulks as well, you want to get forging and iron casting. Those things help. These are all food upgrades as well. So the warship upgrade has been moved to a wood cost instead of a food cost, but you want to be getting these upgrades. Now, it matters. They matter into your fights. Can't stress it enough. Again, lots of games where I have played and I have been getting those upgrades. My opponents have not been getting them, and I am taking fights that should not be favorable. But they are, because I have the extra armor, or I can run away and wait for my next lot of ships to join in. These little things, they add up. You do need to get a foothold in the middle though. And this is where the map can be a little bit hard to play. You do need a foothold in the middle. All the extra res is here. The ability to move forward and attack the home base is here. You can't just focus on the water. The game will eventually translate and migrate into a fight for the middle and the middle control. Keep an eye off. Maybe you can think of some walls. You can think of the town centers and the expansion. I don't believe you should ever town center again here. It should just be the one. Get Vils off this island as quickly as you can, I think. Initially, you can go for just your scout. Send your scout across, go move around. The other thing that I mentioned before with these sheep, you can actually get your fishing ships in Dark Age to grab some of the sheep that are on the shoreline here. So you do get, maybe those ones are a bit far, but these two and these two are very close. 90% of games, you'll have this option. Scout the shoreline, grab the sheep, scout around. You'll know if your opponent's in the middle earlier. Then you might actually get an idea and a little bit of a warning if your opponent's going to forward dock you, or maybe land you, or just playing feudal age naturally. Maybe they're going to start dropping outposts on the shoreline so you can't, they try to prevent you from getting on. These sheep can be very, very handy for that. You get that little bit of extra warning. It's very good. In late game, don't forget your siege ships. Look at this island. You can see how much you can actually range with a siege ship. Every civilization has got access to a siege ship. There's only a little patch at the moment, which is unrangeable. But largely speaking, you can see it all and you can range a lot. So don't forget that that is a way to add to what is otherwise, say, a Treb or a Bombard Cannon War. You can add some Cannon Galleons or Lutrons or Dromonds, whatever you get. If you're fighting a castle that's here, bang, brilliant. Of course, castles in the middle sound brilliant as well. I wouldn't go straight away. I think if you're slower to the middle and you need to get into the middle and you're starting to run out of res, landing immediate castle is probably your best way to just get some space, right? Or of course, if you're Bulgarians, Krepos can also work. Or with the civs, like Koreans or Japanese, you can always go for towers and try that. But I think a castle is a great way. Town center, siege workshop, monk. I think just a lot of monk siege in the middle is easy because you don't really have the time to upgrade your land units as much. It's a little bit harder to do, right? You're naturally going to be getting maybe those attack upgrades we spoke about before on water, and that's all right. But then things like the light cav upgrade or crossbow and archer armor, these things that you're not otherwise getting, it can take a while to go into it. So just monk siege sounds nice, and maybe some scout cav or just basic generic units, or the castle unit. Your unique unit out the castle can also be good. So that's where I kind of feel like those civs that have a strong unique unit that don't, or just strong units that don't require upgrades, they're the ones. Turks, for example, free light cav upgrade, always nice. I'll move into the civs now. The last part of this. Now, naturally, it's going to be a lot about water. Again, my specialty, my area of knowledge. And I have got a list here. What have we got? 11 civs on this list that I think are quite handy for various reasons. Of course, they range between the good eco and the good navy, maybe a good late game as well. Very standard. You would see them in probably a lot of my videos. Armenians, Bengalis, Italians, Dravidians. They're great. Japanese. Big thing about the Japanese, of course. Fishing ships work faster. Now, the base work rate for fishing ships has dropped. So the Japanese will feel less of that effect if you pick them. Actually, I just realized as well, I think we need to add the Persians to this list too. I think that is a civ worth adding. Saracens are good because I do find a lot of market usage on this map. I think that's quite handy. So the market's always nice, and they've got faster attacking galley line as well. So that's always quite handy. And you can transport 40 at a time if it gets to it, but you got to be switched on, right? You got to be paying attention. Make sure you don't have to rely on needing to transport more than 20 at a time. But Saracens have got that too. As for the number one civ, the best civ on this map, I think it's just the Vikings. Japanese are probably a close second, but the longboats are really, really good. And if you win water, you can fish boom behind it, then you don't need farms. You can focus more on the water. They have a strong tech tree on water as well. So note, we showed the uni before. They don't get incendiaries, but it doesn't really matter. You're not really playing fires. You're probably playing longboats with some hulks in front, because the fires and fast fire is the only thing that can kind of work. Unless you're Portuguese and you get caravels. Like it's equal numbers of galleys or better numbers of galleys, but that's hard because Viking longboats are still very good. The caravel for the Portuguese if the Viking longboats are stacked up. But fast fires and fires are faster, and the only ones that can actually match the speed of the longboat. So Vikings are really strong, which means if you're going to come up against that, then having a front line of some hulks with the longboats behind, absolutely brilliant. They get everything you need. They have bonuses for their eco, which is amazing, and the warship bonus and the dock bonus. Like it ticks all the boxes. And the unique tech as well. Like every box is ticked with the Vikings now. Yes, they even have fire ships that you can build now, but you don't even need them. I don't think you're going to be playing them. You're going to be playing longboats when you can. And again, you actually skip feudal age play on this. So you kind of just open 1 or 2 hulks and then go straight into longboats. Done. Really, really easy for the Vikings. And then you can get control on water. And you probably win because they're such a good civ. Well, that is all for this one. I hope you enjoyed my little rundown of migration. You can see we've got another map generation here. And again, you got cows. You get 7 cows. You get little hares underneath. And yeah, same villages, same situations. And all the other stuff in the middle is the same but different. It's got cows here. It's, again, very easy to collect. But I hope you enjoyed that rundown. I hope that means that when migration does come up on the ranked ladder as something for you to play, you don't dodge it, you give it a go, you learn it, you learn the build orders, and enjoy the games. And if you do like this content, of course, give it a like, do subscribe to the channel, and head over to Twitch. I'll be live a lot. I mean, it's perfect for your Aussie evenings or your European mornings, generally speaking. But yeah, I'm live 3 to 4 times a week, which is quite good. And yeah, until next time, see you later.